Guys, we've been watching the coronavirus for weeks now, continuing to see the market action trade around the updates we get, but the coronavirus is also hitting esports, as popular gaming leagues like Activision Blizzard's Overwatch League and Tencent Holdings' Riot Games now both canceling multiple matches in China over the deadly outbreak. And joining us now to discuss is gaming and esports consultant Rod Breslau, back with us in studio. Good to see you again, Rod.
Good to see you.
When we look at this, I mean, put this into context for how big some of these tournaments are and just outright canceling them. They say it's to protect the health of both their employees and the gamers themselves, but how important is a move like this?
I mean, it's pretty difficult for both Riot and Blizzard. Blizzard is launching the Overwatch League in each of the cities this year, so this is their big breakout year for 2020, and China's a huge market, so having to postpone the games in China for them is not good. And for League of Legends, the Chinese league is the biggest league of all the different regions. Between North America, Europe, Korea, and China, the LPL, which is a Chinese league, is definitely the biggest out of all of the four. So for them to have to postpone their biggest league of all of their regions is a big deal. They just signed a 3-year, $110 million franchising deal just for the Chinese audience streaming. Yeah. So it's a big problem for them.
Yeah, when we talk about the growth of this too, right? Because some people would say, look, if people are going to be holed up, they need to buy time. If they're under restrictions and they need to stay at home, video games would be a good turning point for a lot of these people. But when it comes to growing the sport in one of their fastest growing markets, I mean, canceling these tournaments might outweigh the fact that more people would be playing at home.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the games being canceled themselves are bad. I know we are on a Yahoo Finance show, so I have a precursor. People dying, not good.
Yeah.
I am not so cool with, the market's going to be up here, even though, all these people are, hurt and the country is in, disarray. I don't think that's good. Yeah. But I do understand that people are going to be home more. Even Huya and Douyu, which are the two biggest Chinese live streaming sites, are having problems with the load right now. There are some games right now in China that have more players on than they've ever had because everyone is at home. So in some retrospect, there might be even more viewership for when those games are played. There probably will be more viewers coming from that audience.
I'm wondering, too, because I know for a while there had been some scrutiny about the Overwatch League in particular in the amount of travel that some of these gamers had to actually do. So do you think that these cancellations might catalyze just a sort of rethinking of the way that this league is structured?
It's not great timing for them, but that's really what is the difference between Overwatch League and everything else and Call of Duty League here is they wanted to make it a localized structure. And this is really going for a home run. Either it's going to fail spectacularly and all of this is not going to go off very well, or they're going to do something that no one else wanted to do in esports because of how international it is. And that's kind of what makes it special. No one wanted to do the localized region market. So this is not good timing for them, but the show must go on. They really want to try to make this happen, and this is really their year or two to make it seem.
Well, when we talk about watching all of this too, that's very interesting because the trend. I mean, Ninja kicked off this trend to ditch Twitch, right? Going to Mixer. We're seeing a lot of video gamers, I should say, jumping over to Mixer. Is that a trend that's continuing here? Or what's the popularity of that platform in relation to Amazon's Twitch?
Well, Activision Blizzard just signed a deal for YouTube for the Call of Duty League and the Overwatch League. Twitch paid $90 million for the first 2 years of Overwatch League. Twitch was not going to pay that ever again because they probably overpaid it the first time. And we don't have the details on how much YouTube paid for exclusive rights of Call of Duty and for Overwatch League. But, Activision Blizzard wasn't going to make a deal without getting some money. So we're not necessarily sure they got more money. If they got more money from YouTube, they probably worked them over because it probably wasn't worth $90 million the first time. But now you have some of the biggest players in tech, Facebook, Amazon, Google, which owns YouTube, and Microsoft and Mixer all competing for video games and live streaming. So yeah, they paid Mixer $20 or $30 million to bring him over. Is he actually worth that? No, but Microsoft needed to do that and needed to bring over other people like Shroud and other streamers to try to make the platform work, because it's not going so well otherwise.
Yeah, it's just crazy to think all the money too that Microsoft is now putting into Mixer to kind of battle with this, but it's a battle that we will continue to see play out. Whether or not it's worth it, we'll debate that next time. Rod Breslau, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Hey investors, Zack Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.